Welcome to Nadia's Kitchen Creations. This week I'm making pear and apple crisp. For this recipe you're going to need 1 pear and 2 apples, or you can switch it around and have 2 pears and 1 apple, or all pears. So we're going to start making the topping first. So you'll need half a cup of oatmeal, 1 tablespoon of all-purpose flour, 1 tablespoon of brown sugar, half a teaspoon of cinnamon, and mix that well. And then I'm going to add the melted butter and mix that in, make sure everything is coated, and set that aside. We're going to core and chop or slice, whichever you prefer, the washed pears and apples. Sometimes I leave the skin on, sometimes I don't. We're going to mix in 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. Just make sure that the fruit is coated well. And then we're going to add half a teaspoon of cinnamon, 1/4 teaspoon of fresh nutmeg. I do think fresh nutmeg makes a difference. And a pinch of salt. And then 1 tablespoon of brown sugar. And because I'm a Canadian, of course I have to do 1 tablespoon of maple syrup. You can of course use all maple syrup or just all brown sugar, and mix that well. And then you don't have to, you can use 1/4 teaspoon of cornstarch, and that's just if your fruits happen to be a little juicier, it'll just help thicken the juice so it's not so liquidy. And then we're going to add our fruit to a lightly greased oven-proof baking dish. And then you're going to cover your fruit with your oatmeal topping. And then we're going to pop that in the preheated oven at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for about 30 to 35 minutes. And I like to check about 3/4 of the way through and just give it a poke with a sharp knife. And sometimes your fruit is done, and if it is, pull it out, and if it's not, pop it back in for another 10 to 15 minutes. And this apple crisp took about 35 minutes to finish baking, so the fruit was fork tender. So as you can see, when the knife slides into your fruit easily, your crisp is done. You can serve this warm or at room temperature, but it's also delicious with a scoop of vanilla ice cream. Thank you so much for watching Nadia's Kitchen Creations, and I will see you in the next one.